Josh and Alex bring the fire, no doubt. Fun facts roaring, making headlines shout. Sports pro wrestling with a punch and a spin. Warrior fuel coursing through their skin. Through the chaos, warriors never slow. Pushing boundaries, ready to explode. Cutting through the noise, sharp as a knife. Slash tracks news, it's more than just life. Slash tracks coming at you full speed, no brakes. Horror in action, they're raising the stakes. Jumping Jeff says, yup, you don't wanna miss. Tony laughs hard, this is pure bliss. Slash tracks ready, set, let's go.
Good afternoon and welcome to Slash Trax Action News. I'm Alex Vanover.
And I'm Josh LaRue.
Josh, busy night at the news desk tonight. We're going to start off fast and furious. We're going to jump right in to a couple nice comments.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Great episode. More Power Rangers coming? Question mark. The power transfer possibly? Question mark. And that's from friend of the channel, I Am Some Lime. And they left that comment down below of Slash Trax Saturday mornings, Beetlejuice, Critter Sitters.
Indeed, there is. And thank you for that nice comment. There's always Power Rangers on the way. It's going to be here. Trust us.
Oh, yeah, Josh. As a matter of fact, we were thinking about putting our toe in the waters of Alien Power Rangers. Is that where you were kind of thinking?
That would be like a 13 episode review series we'd have to do. So, yeah. Probably not all in a row. We'd probably do some other ones in between, but yeah. So it's definitely
13 straight. That's it. That's all we're doing on Saturday mornings. Josh, second nice comment, and this is from a friend of the channel, girlfriend of mine, and Mother Evil herself from the Slash Trax Riff Show. This is her first time getting a nice comment. No, okay. It's not nepotism. She left a nice comment. Here we go. I love this Classics episode. That is such a nice comment that you guys highlighted at the top. Best YouTube channel for sure. And that's from Mother Evil herself, Nicole Webb 5471. She left that comment below of Slash Trax Classics Action News, Vince McMahon versus Nails, the Power Glove, and Mattress Max big win.
It has nothing to do with y'all dating. It was a nice comment. So I'm talking to you out there. You know who you are, Justin. Justin, just calm down. Chill out, Justin.
I want to talk real quick about, since we brought up Slash Trax, can we have a very big moment today. If you have watched the channel for any amount of time, the rodeo clown in real life is Josh's son, Anthony.
Yeah.
And he is graduating high school tonight. So I wanted to give a shout out to him.
We love you, Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony, we love you. Hopefully your walking partner is not the barrel that you live in. Hopefully you're not rolling down the aisle of graduation tonight. Yeah.
Oh, man. Seems like I was dropping him off at kindergarten yesterday. It's crazy. I'm getting old. See all this white? It's catching up with me.
You said that you didn't drop him off at kindergarten. You said you rolled him in the barrel to kindergarten.
He was a baby rodeo clown.
Hey, Josh.
And now he rolls his own barrel now.
Yeah, he rolls his own barrel. Josh, let's go to today's show sponsor.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm gonna cry.
This is Tico, the world's most amazing dog. Amazing because this dog talks. Incredible but true, a genuine talking dog. He actually speaks English, and now you can hear him by calling this number. Imagine listening to a talking dog. This is no joke. This is the real thing. Call now, 1-900-386-TALK, T-A-L-K. $1.75 first minute, 75 cents additional minutes. If you're under 18, get your parents' permission to call. Call now. You may never in your life be able to hear another real talking dog.
That's a great sponsor for today, Josh. I just can only imagine how that conversation would go. It's like, hey, are you a dog over there on the other line? Absolutely. Yes, I'm a dog. How are you doing today? Because I am definitely a dog.
Uh, I'm a good boy. I'm definitely a good boy today. Are you being a good boy there, Alex? Like me, the definitely a dog.
I'm glad to be talking to you on the phone, Josh, because I am a dog.
Definitely a dog and a good boy dog and not somebody talking and lying to you about being a dog. Definitely a real dog.
I think you had something you wanted to ask Jumpin' Jeff about this hotline, Josh.
Jumping Jeff, did you fall for this? Did you call and talk to what you thought was a dog?
Yep.
We suspected as much. We suspected as much.
Hey, I actually have some bad news about that hotline.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, friend of the channel, Country Harvest, buffet guy, home buffet. He actually recently got into some hot water because he found out, allegedly that the person he was talking to on the other line of that wasn't a real dog.
Yeah.
And we actually have some footage of what he did to the person once he found the person pretending to be a dog, allegedly.
Oh no. Is there dog
Yeah,
meat in our future?
I think so. I think we need to go to the clip.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
So are we to think that whoever voiced the good boy dog got turned into the ham or whatever he was cutting up for people, the steak? Were those people having long pork at the buffet?
I'm not gonna like say it, but I think it's heavily implied that that's what happened.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I need to throw in another quick sponsor before we moved on.
Okay.
Today's show is also brought to you by the amazing book Celestial Slumber and Nightmare on Elm Street novel by that guy right there, Josh LaRue, and the novella Quarantine, a Friday the 13th novella, also by that good looking dude right there. You can get your print hardcover. Hardcovers are pretty nice too. Where's it at? On Amazon. The links are in the description below. If you don't like physical, you can get an ebook there as well, or you can catch the audiobooks for free on the main channel. So sorry, had to throw them in there.
Well, hey man, if you can't sponsor your own show, what can you sponsor? So, what are you gonna do? Josh, let's get into some fun facts.
Fun facts.
Okay,
They
this
better
one
be
is fun.
fun. They better be fun.
This is fun. I'm telling you right now. I wrote this one into the show format like 2 minutes before we started recording.
Okay.
In Iceland, Josh, dating apps are required to include a button that says, "Is this my cousin?" Because the population is so small.
That makes sense. That's wow. That sounds
Yeah,
like southern dating apps here in America. And I live in Arkansas, so I'm making
unbelievable.
fun of myself too. Um,
I
down
just like
down in
it's
the
such a
south, it's is this my sibling? Sorry.
Is this my sibling?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, do they care? Would they even
Uh,
care if they
I
click?
think there's some of them I don't think they do. Living here in Arkansas, but I do. I care.
Ruby Sue, Ruby Sue, damn it. Is that you? You catfishing me again?
Oh no.
Here's a Saturday morning's fun fact, Josh.
Okay.
In Disney's DuckTales, the character of Magica De Spell
Oh
was
yes.
was inspired by Morticia Addams from the Addams Family.
Okay. I can actually see that now.
Absolutely.
I never put that together, never once. She's one of my favorite villains of all the old cartoons we used to watch, man.
Yeah,
was
I like
great.
her too. I don't understand why every spell that she has to take over the world has to include Scrooge's number one dime, though. Why doesn't she just include something else?
It's like it's made of like it's the one dime that's made out of certain metal or something, and it's all that's left on Earth, and it has to be that metal for the spell.
I think it's because doesn't like wouldn't you think it like symbolizes Scrooge's tenacity and
Greed.
ability, greed. I don't know, whatever it is. Oh, here's a good fun fact. Mount Everest has an area, Josh, known as Rainbow Valley. That sounds really pretty, doesn't it?
Is that where all the dead bodies are?
It's not named for rainbows, though, Josh, but rather for brightly colored jackets on the frozen corpses scattered throughout the valley.
Yep. There's no way to get the bodies down.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, it's a cemetery up there, man. It's crazy, right?
it's
Like when you came across, I mean, you did you know already that there were bodies up there?
I knew there was bodies up there. I knew that it was too dangerous to try to like retrieve the corpses, but I didn't know that it actually had a name.
Right? And
For
it's
the
so
area.
pretty, such a pretty name.
Yeah, well, I just like my first thought when I saw that was like that puts a lot of weight on the decision of what jacket you're gonna wear for that day's climb. Because
Yeah.
it's like I may be wearing this jacket, forever. So I might die in this jacket. So this is the most important clothing decision I've ever made.
You know what? Businesses and YouTube channels and stuff should like if we hear that people are going up on Everest, we should be like, you know what? Just in case the worst happens, we will pay you to wear a jacket with our channel name or our business name on it.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with that because it'll be up there forever.
Yeah.
Um, or they should go up there with a copy of Celestial Slumber and a copy of Quarantine,
Yeah.
and they should die, holding the books right out in front of them. Somebody goes up there and like sees those books, and they're like, "Man, I'd really like to read those," but they can't read it because they can't physically grab it from the guy's cold, dead hands, the grip of death. Josh, in Italy, it's illegal to build a house that doesn't have a bidet.
That's interesting. That's crazy. Because of paper, is it to like conserve paper or something?
It doesn't say why, but I would guess it's probably a pollution thing, probably like a waste thing.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if they have sting operations. I wonder if the police over there have sting operations.
Let me see that butt. Is it wet?
Or you're wiping, you're illegally wiping in your bathroom, and the door just gets busted in and kicked down like the Kool-Aid Man, and just caught in the act, man. Just like on Family Guy when the Cookie Monster's cooking cookie dough, uh, in that one episode of Family Guy, it's like he's
Yes.
wiping his butt,
Instead,
busted,
instead of
absolutely busted.
instead of the SWAT team, they have the shark team. It's like S dot H.
Charmin,
The shark team. I was just saying the shark team, and like the S, each of the letters stands for something. But yeah.
or it should say no, it should be the Wipe team, WIPE, should stand for something wipe.
Oh, and if somebody's streaming, and you want to send the wiped crew there, they get wiped instead of swatted.
Yeah. Let me see those cheeks. Spread them. I don't want to see any smearing. Hey Josh, and I'll tell you why. Because we had some people that are working at the network that went out of their way to start a program with all the young Slashketeers that wanted to help out in the community, and they started a thing called the Slash Scouts.
Yep.
And what they do, Josh, is they just go around, they do good in the community. And they were recently on a talk show, and I think we should go to that clip of them on the talk show.
Yeah, this is one of their best projects.
Yeah.
In order to get our Eagle Scout badge, we needed to do a community service project, and we talked it over, and we thought that we'd do help women do their breast exams.
Wow. Now, you must have done a lot of research.
Definitely.
all over the internet
Yeah.
to find great websites.
Well, so how's your program going to work? I mean, where do you plan to do these exams?
Well, I think we're probably gonna do them in my basement.
Well, it's not, his basement's not really like a basement. It has a carpet, and it's
So
like
it's
a family
finished.
room.
Well, now
Yeah.
I've been told that the key to a good self-breast examination is making them a regular part of your normal routine, right? And that way you get to know your breasts and can recognize any changes. Now, I like to do mine when I'm in the shower.
Yeah. Okay.
But I understand you can also lie on your bed.
Yeah, definitely.
I am kind of worried about my own technique, though. Can you show us how to do a good breast exam?
Well, you first, you kind of have to like look around and like feel for the lump.
The lump. And
I imagine you have to disrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you gotta feel for the bump
Yeah,
if there is one. And
Good
Feeling
ones.
pretty good about that. You like the platform they chose, Josh?
They're definitely doing a service.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's for themselves or for the women they help, but it's a service.
And they are providing it, and they are the Slash Scouts. So be on the lookout. They'll be selling cookies, candy bars, and breast exams at a local fundraiser near you probably sooner than later. And Josh, I wanted to ask, I have a feeling I know who started the Slash Scouts. I just want to get confirmation. Tony
Yeah.
the Spider. Tony, did you start the Slash Scouts, and are you the one who came up with the breast examination gimmick?
Here's Tony the Spider. If you people only knew.
You know what? I think being coy is the right thing this time because he doesn't admit to something that could get him in some trouble. But,
Yeah. This has felony written all over it. Hey, Josh, can I go back and talk about the fun fact about the toilet paper again real quick?
yeah, let's go back.
I just had an idea. It's like, if they get arrested, would the length of their sentence be longer if it was 2-ply as opposed to 1-ply?
Ooh, what about like the triple and quadruple rolls in one?
Life. You're going to jail for life.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's like a bargain bin, single ply, like Equate brand, like the Safeway or Fred Meyer brand, probably just spending a weekend in jail. But if it's like Charmin, like 4-ply,
there's no bell.
Numbers there. You're going to
No
jail.
bell. No bell. Yeah, you're going down for that one. You're going down the toilet for that one.
Oh no! Don't flush it. Just wash it. Josh, there is a viral trending question that has been going around Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's all over the place. And I felt that the only people that could answer this question correctly and with the correct, because you're a former professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched boxing and wrestling my whole life. I've watched Steven Seagal movies. I've watched Chuck Norris movies, Stallone, Schwarzenegger. I'm familiar with hand-to-hand combat. The people want to know, and we're the only people that can answer this question, Josh. Who would win?
No.
100 men versus one gorilla.
No weapons?
It's 100 men versus one gorilla.
Okay, but did the men have weapons?
It's however you want to interpret it. They can't have guns, obviously.
Okay. Maybe if they have weapons, but hand to hand, the gorilla wins, even against 100 men.
You don't think that the gorilla is going to get exhausted after having killed and broken the spines of the previous 60 men? The next 40 won't be able to wear them down?
Man, they have a lot more energy than we do. And you piss it off. I mean, you look at some of these gorillas, man. Whew. But you give any weapon, knife, machete, anything like that to the men are going to win every time, unless, it's a situation like, oh no, don't ask me how it happened, but he got the machete. The gorilla got the machete. And then it's going to go the other way.
Now the gorilla has the machine gun.
And he's shooting like 3 of the men. He's using the machete on me. I'm sorry. The camera's not showing it, but it's really happening off camera. Oh no.
The wound is starting to smell a bit like almonds.
Have you ever seen Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald?
Yeah.
When
Yes.
when they're
putting the fish.
he took my chainsaw and now he's using it on me.
And they're like, they're looking at the fish, and they're looking at each other like, oh my God, we caused all this.
The neighbor that hired him shows up and he's like, oh my God, I didn't know this is what you were gonna do. The neighbor had wanted them to like get them to move out of the neighborhood.
I would say, what about 100? What about 100 Hakus, 100 Ming, the WCW and WWF wrestler versus one gorilla?
Haku wins every time.
100 of them. Haku got into a fight. This is documented and it's been corroborated. He got into a fight with someone and tried to rip the guy's tongue out of his head.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
Ooh, I got one for you.
Yeah.
100 gorillas versus one Hulk Hogan.
Oh man, Hogan, because he's got creative control.
Yep. It ain't gonna work for me. That ain't gonna work for me, monkey.
Well, we have proof too, because the other wrestlers aren't gorillas, but like he won back-to-back Royal Rumbles.
The second one, it made no sense. Like
he was the champion. He was the champion.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing?
I just want to win. I just want to win the Royal Rumble.
And he almost wins the third one in a row.
Because he gets eliminated by Psycho Sid.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then he
like
grabs he grabs Sid's arm like a heel. Like he's supposed to be the hero, and he's like, he threw me out. That's not fair. He's coming out too.
Yeah, he got booed really bad at that 92 Royal Rumble, and WWF at the time for Coliseum Home Video had to like edit out the boos.
Yeah.
And they edited out the cheering when he got eliminated too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got a really good would you rather today. Okay, Josh, would you rather, so you're going on vacation, okay? You're finally getting a break, okay? All your writing your books is finally paid off. You've got a little extra coin, and you're taking Beth and the kids on vacation. Now, you got an all expenses paid trip to Springwood, Ohio, or you get to go to Derry, Maine. Where are you going and why?
Derry, Maine, because there's just so many things that go on there. Springwood, it's like one thing, and I'm going to be tired constantly because I can't sleep, But Derry, there's just so many different things that take place there. I just want to see how screwed up the town really is if it was real.
If you go to Derry, Maine, like, yeah, you go to Springwood, you can't sleep. But if you go to Derry, Maine, you can't even go to the bathroom. Like, he's in the pipes. Like, you can't take a bath. You can't take a shower.
Well, I mean, it's not just it. Like, a ton of Stephen King stuff takes place in Derry, Maine. Like, there's a dome over the town and under the dome and stuff like that. So,
yeah, the Springwood, Ohio one would be tough because you can only go so long without sleep. It's the age-old question. It's why Freddy's popular, to be honest with you. It's like, he's gonna get you. Like, at some point, he's going to get you. You have to sleep.
Yep. And he can even get you in space in cryo sleep. So
yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I'm gonna go to Derry. I'll take my chances. For sure.
Derry, Maine.
Josh. Derry, Maine is the big winner today, but you know who else is a big winner, Josh? Us here at the network, because we're so popular now. We're trending constantly. We're always going viral. We actually have a Trax community forum now.
Really?
We were discussing channel business and just, business of that we take care of, that we're in the business of business. And this lady showed up. She wasn't abreast of what we were talking about down there, and we actually have video footage of her being very confused at the Trax community forum.
Yep. Yeah, I remember this. We were there.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason.
Ma'am, we're discussing the rezoning for the Portillos. Do you have any comments on that?
For what?
We're discussing the rezoning on 53rd for,
Well, I live on 63rd.
again, we're here to hear comments about the rezoning.
Well, I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet because I can't find a job. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you?
Josh, you were laughing your ass off when this lady started saying this random stuff at the community forum.
The guy behind her was laughing harder than me. Whew.
What? She's like, I can't get on the internet. You tell me, is that right? And the person's like, we're talking about Slash Trax business here. We got to know what the next book Josh is writing, and we got to know what Tony's doing next week at the network. Do you have anything to say? Yeah.
You know, there was another speaker after that who complained, who was complaining about something. Can we go to the footage of Richie Rouge complaining after her?
I'd love to.
I mean, I can't come out here and I can't squash an apple with my bare hands. I can't come out here and I can't crush an apple.
We did tell him to quit telling us he couldn't squish an apple, you know, so he tried to take it to the forum, but nobody volunteered to help him figure it out either, so it was a bust.
Well, Richie Rouge is like kind of wearing out his welcome with me, at least around here, because I can't bring any fruit to the studio anymore for lunch. He's kind of like a one trip.
Is he trying to squish it all the time and getting germs all over it?
Constantly trying to squish it, getting his dirty little fingers all over the place. He's a one trick pony. He says stuff like out of context a lot. He's a really random guy. Like maybe your worst hire ever.
I just wish I hadn't signed him to a guaranteed 5-year contract.
What? 5 years? You didn't even give Tony or Jeff a 2-year contract. You gave him a 5-year?
Well, he brought up Hogan and stuff, so.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, he didn't. He was talking about how he didn't like Hogan and stuff either, and we started laughing, and I felt bad for the dude. He couldn't squish an apple, man. He tried.
You have to stop letting strangers influence your decisions based on if they like Hulk Hogan or not. This is not good or healthy for you.
I know. It's an obsession. But yeah.
I think it's a disorder. I think you have a disorder. It's not an obsession. You got a problem. Josh,
Hogan derangement syndrome.
You got Hogan-itis. Jesus. Let's get into some sports.
Let's do it.
All right, NFL draft was like a month ago. Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, was a quarterback for the University of Colorado, and he was early on projected. He was good. He was early on projected to be probably a top 1 or 2, 3 round. Like he was supposed to be early selected in the draft. Like,
yeah.
But he ended up sliding, fell really far down in the draft. A lot of people are saying it's because he interviewed really poorly, came across as maybe arrogant, maybe entitled, which isn't something that NFL teams want. Some people have even said that maybe the NFL teams colluded. They were like teaching him a lesson for his attitude.
Okay.
Which is interesting. But what's even more interesting is this is a real news story. A fan of Shedeur Sanders is suing the NFL for emotional distress after Shedeur Sanders had that draft day slide.
Wow. That's not going to go anywhere. Didn't we cover a news story about somebody that sued their parents for giving birth to them?
No, but that sounds about right.
That's a real story. That's an actual story. Maybe we'll cover that in the future, but no, that sounds just as ridiculous. How many teams are there in the NFL?
32, around 32, I think.
So like if you get drafted in the first couple rounds, then you're one of like 64 people that got drafted in that first
Yeah, and
rounds.
yes, and you're considered like a very top prospect. And the earlier you get drafted, the more money you're guaranteed.
So he was like number 200 and something probably then.
He slid far down,
Wow.
and
Wow.
people were like, "This is crazy," because he's supposed to be like he's got this talent, and he's in college he was very good, but there was just something that they didn't like in his interview or his draft. Something slid far down the draft boards.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm emotionally distressed and I'm going to be calling an attorney. See, I'm not pretentious. I'm not going to say I'm going to call my attorney
Mm-hmm.
because obviously I don't have an attorney on retainer. Like
Yeah.
I love when people do that. You're going to hear from my attorney. It's like, dude, you are wearing Walmart sneakers. Okay. You do not have an attorney on retainer. You're just pick up the phone and call.
I do. I do. He's in New Mexico. He's at a nice little strip mall. His name's Saul Goodman.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
was it somebody you met on an Icelandian dating site?
Yeah, my cousin. He's my lawyer. We're also dating.
Okay.
Uh, hey, Josh, second and last sports story of the episode. Do you remember Sammy Sosa? Do you remember the Cubs baseball player, Sammy Sosa?
Yep, I remember the name.
Okay, Sammy Sosa was the Cubs legendary baseball player in the 90s that he was in the home run chase with Mark McGwire in 1998.
Oh yeah, I remember all that.
Okay. This is a fun fact. Cubs legend Sammy Sosa hit 60 home runs in a season 3 different times. 60 homers, Josh,
Wow.
is if you hit 40 home runs, you might lead the league in homers today. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount. He hit 60 home runs 3 different times, and not one of those times did he lead the major leagues in home runs for the year.
Wow.
Not
Who did?
once.
Who
Not
did?
once. McGuire, Barry
Oh, gotcha,
Bonds.
gotcha.
But this is like during steroid baseball. This is before steroids were illegal.
Yeah, when all their
So
heads were giant.
yeah, this is like nuclear power plant Springfield baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero steroid. I don't even know that they were doing steroid testing, and if they did, it was really weak. But that's just a crazy stat. Had 60 homers 3 different times and never led the league once. That's insane.
That's crazy. That's cray.
You know what else is insane, Josh? You know what else is insane? Slash Trax Network is growing in leaps and bounds. Thanks to Alvin and the Chipmunks, thanks to our new shorts, thanks to Josh's new books he's written. Everything is starting to finally come together. Josh and I eventually will only do the Slash Trax Network, hopefully, very soon. Josh took it upon himself once again to hire some people to work in the Slash Trax catering service area, craft services area of the building. So caught this guy on camera doing something he shouldn't have. We're going to use it as a learning opportunity. Let's go to Slash Trax Cooking Corner.
Everything looks safe here.
Not so fast, Chris. Look closer.
Aha! The microwave is running unattended.
That's right. And there's a can of paint thinner inside.
Yeah, so Josh, it's a big no-no. Don't put paint thinner in the microwave.
Why not? Like sometimes, you want to work with warm paint thinner. You ever felt how cold that stuff gets?
I guess there could have been worse things he could have done in our break area. He could have put fish in the microwave.
Oh God. Oh my God. Please no. Fun fact. I've never eaten fish. I've never had fish or seafood of any kind.
In your life?
Maybe whenever I was like a toddler, maybe I had a fish stick or something, but from the time I was at least 5 to now, I've never had seafood.
Hold on. You've never had a fillet of fish at McDonald's?
Nope.
You've never had shrimp for your birthday?
Nope.
Crab?
Mm-mm.
What is the reasoning behind that? Is someone I hold on. Someone has a gun to you. They're not letting you have it, right?
No, there's nobody with a gun to my head. Nobody. No, my dad took me fishing when I was like 4 and he gutted the fish. And I just, whenever I see seafood, I think of the gutted fish and what it looked like and the smell. And I just can't bring myself to eat it.
What do you think so what if your dad was catching cheeseburgers and gutting cheeseburgers? Like would that be like he pulls out a McDouble? Would that have changed your mind from, your love for cheeseburgers?
It probably, if it looked as nasty as the gutted fish did.
Damn, never had seafood since 5 years old. We
At
gotta
least
change.
5. Yeah.
I thought it was like a budgeting reason. I thought you were just being fiscally responsible because seafood is historically more expensive.
Just never had it. Never been
Wow.
interested. Yeah.
Wow. Um, that's that blows my mind. Let's go to Slash Trax Wrestling.
All right.
This is a really interesting one. During Shawn Michaels' hiatus from WWE in 1999, when he like had the back injury and kind of retired, I guess he was retired. He went to work as a local news reporter in San Antonio, Texas, which is where he's from. He was a broadcast journalist, primarily covering high school and college sports.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Michael
broadcast
Hickenbottom.
broadcast journalist. That's what Bobby the Brain used to call himself.
Broadcast journalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. All us humanoids had to watch it and listen to him.
I wish he was a weatherman at that local news channel, and he'd be like, yeah, there's 100% chance of a super kick today. Nails the newscasters. Boom.
It's now time for the local weather. Oh, Sean, he's just a sexy boy. No, he did he go by Michael Hickenbottom or Shawn Michaels?
He went by Shawn Michaels.
Okay. Funny story. One of the wrestling promoters I worked for was a complete fake. Like he lied and said he was Buzz Sawyer's stepson, said he was one of the last ECW tag team champions. This is back in like 2003. All this kind of stuff. He was always full of crap, and some of the guys bought into it. I wasn't one of them. We're at a bar one night. We had a ring set up in the back for like practice and everything. And just so everybody knows, I got kicked out of this company within like a month after this. He's on his phone talking to somebody, and he's like, "Hold on a second, Mike." And he goes, "I've got Michael Hickenbottom on the phone, guys." I had just told him the week before that was Shawn Michaels' real name. Like he didn't even know. Okay. And so he's got Michael Hickenbottom on the phone a week later. So while he's talking, I pick up my phone and dial him. And as he's talking to Shawn Michaels on the phone, his phone starts ringing. And he's all like, oh, I guess I lost him. And
damn,
I was let go within like a month after that. But yeah, I got him on that one.
You guys had a wrestling ring in the bar, okay?
Oh yeah, we were getting to drink before we were 21, everything. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, whoever this promoter thought it was a good idea that all of his talent get loaded and then go roll around in the ring, work on some spots. I got another question. If Shawn Michaels was the weatherman, okay?
Yeah.
And there was going to be rain, would he start tuning up the band? Like, would he start like his leg going,
There's some thunder coming.
Yeah, here it comes. We got a storm coming. Like, hey, Josh, 34 years ago, last week, Hall of Fame wrestler Earthquake, newly inducted, squashed Jake the Snake Roberts' beloved snake Damien on WWF television. Josh, do you remember this?
I watched it on. Yeah. Huh?
How did you feel about that?
I watched it on Coliseum Home Video, and I was heartbroken. That poor innocent snake that did nothing to nobody except for Andre the Giant. No, it was crazy. It was crazy. Like he just squished the snake, like somebody squishing an apple. He squished the snake. Just
Oh no, not Richie again. You
no,
got
we're not.
you got to get, dude, 5 years of squishing an apple. Thanks a lot for that. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
5 years of not being able to squish an apple. Thank you.
Can we just like his last 4 years of his contract? Can we just bench him? Like we'll pay him, but we don't use him at least, please. I remember when Earthquake squished that snake. It was a very big deal because that was like his main snake for years, years. That's the snake he carried to WrestleMania 3.
Yep.
And then didn't he swap out that snake for Lucifer? Like he turned it into a different snake.
Yeah, and he ended up with the cobra. So
He yeah, and then he ended up when he did the Christian gimmick, he had Revelations, the big yellow snake.
yeah, yeah.
Um one last wrestling story, and this one isn't as fun. And I think you probably know where I'm going with this. Sabu, hardcore legend, had his retirement match the weekend of WrestleMania 41. So, like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, Sabu had his retirement match, and he was doing some crazy stuff. So crazy, in fact, Josh, that my barber, who I didn't know was a wrestling fan,
Yeah.
brought it up to me in conversation that, hey man, do you watch wrestling? Did you see that Sabu had his retirement match and like he was doing some crazy stuff at like age 60 or whatever?
Yeah.
Guy's my barber. I didn't even know he liked wrestling. He didn't know I liked wrestling. It was just in conversation. Uh, but anyway, long story short, Sabu died last week. He died like less than a month after his retirement match.
What was the cause? Have they released that?
They don't know. They haven't released it yet, but something came up to where the promoter was having Sabu take kratom, some sort of kratom drug or something during his
Okay.
match. I don't even know what kratom is, but it's a
Creatine?
like no, it's called kratom. It's like Kratom.
No idea. No idea.
So there's like a scandal surrounding Sabu's death. And I I think that maybe he knew he was gonna die soon, and that's why he did all that crazy stuff in that match.
Or all the crazy stuff he did led to his death.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously, this has Ric Flair written all over it.
this is what Flair wants, man. I'm telling you.
Jealous. He's jealous of Sabu. Actually,
Probably is right now.
Sabu didn't quite finish. I'm not trying to be funny. He didn't quite finish the job, but he did later. It ended up taking him out. Just a sad story. Just a weird story. It's like the Ultimate Warrior when he was on Raw. The whole thing is weird. The timing is bizarre.
That documentary of the Ultimate Warrior, like the last 24 hours, where it shows him talking to people backstage, all sweaty and pale,
Yeah.
and like making amends with everybody. It's almost like he knew he was going to go, or while he was there, he was poisoned or something. But
Vince is like, son of a bitch, Ultimate Warrior in 91. The match made in hell. Well, guess what? You don't hold up Vincent Kennedy McMahon for 1 red cent. You think you got away with it? Ultimate puke. But I'm going to pay you main event money 20 years after the fact. I'm going to induct you into my Hall of Fame that doesn't even exist yet. And I'm gonna have the last word and no chance. That's what you got.
no
Right?
chance in hell.
No chance in hell.
Hey, we got Warrior Fuel though, so
I think what happened was Sabu, because I don't want to blame this on you. I don't, Josh. So when Sabu was having his retirement match and you wanted to send him something to congratulate him on such a great and illustrious career, I told you not to do it. I said don't do it. But you did it anyway, didn't you?
yep, I did.
You sent him a freaking half rack of Tall Boy Warrior Fuel cans.
I did.
And before the match,
He
I
drank.
allegedly heard, because Richie Rouge was down there documenting everything, trying to get his 5 years worth of money out of us. He drank 3 of those before his match.
Oh man.
Yeah.
At least he went out with the spirit of the warrior.
He was shaking those barbed wire ropes. It's probably what happened. Bled out. Josh, everybody's favorite segment, the segment that has taken over the internet and the world, is up next. Josh's Cringe Corner. Josh,
I'm seeing something funny, something wet. Definitely. And even if it's not what we're seeing, I'll find some way to make it fit. So let's go to it.
Okay.
A few years ago, they never found him. And I've had such a hard time since. Every day.
The reason why you didn't find him is because he's in water. And find him in water, it's like the girl that's missing in Aruba. You can't find somebody.
Well, it was September 11th. There was no, he was a fireman, but there was
no, see, I keep seeing him in water. Is there any way he could have drowned in water some way?
They never found a piece of him. Nothing.
From 9/11. Because he says he couldn't breathe and he was filled with water. Well, if they were trying to put the fire out, Montel.
They could have, yeah.
No, they won't find him, but honey, that's okay because it doesn't matter if they find him or not, he's still over there.
Okay, I get that you're telling me that it happened in the desert during a drought, but it was wet. There was water. You know, cactuses have water in them, so maybe he drowned in a cactus.
Yeah, because if you cut it open, there is water in a cactus.
Yeah, so yeah. I know he died during a drought in the desert, but I'm telling you, I'm seeing water, so I think a cactus drowned him. The inside of a cactus drowned him. So,
are the producers of the show not vetting the questions from the audience before this lady tackles these questions? Because that was an all-time whiff.
They should do what the churches do, the fake healers and stuff, like televangelists. They have their wife blend in with the crowd outside and talk to people that are in wheelchairs and stuff and get what their sicknesses are. That way, they can go in there and be like, God's telling me that somebody's got a spinal injury and they just saw their doctor.
And then the person in the wheelchair, what? Unreal.
Do that. How hard is it? They just brought this psychic on and took her word for it.
Freddy Krueger. Hey, Freddy Krueger's in the audience, and he's like, "I'm getting word from my spirit guide that there's someone out here who has experienced terrible, painful burn trauma." That's me, bitch.
Holy cow! How'd you know?
How'd you know, bitch? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know why she had to say the firefighters maybe were putting your husband out with the hose. I mean,
that was messed up. And she's like, they never found him, though.
God, man, that's bad. That is so bad.
Well, maybe your husband, she's like, maybe they were putting him out. Well, they never found his body. Well, perhaps your husband was secretly the Sandman. and he, he was going to fight Spider-Man, and he dissolved. She would have had an answer for everything. Yeah.
So bad. That lady, actually, I recognize her. She was involved in some, I think the problem is she had success previously. I'm not joking. I've seen that lady before. She's been involved in some cold case investigations where she actually helped the police find bodies. So she might have just got lucky. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how psychic energy works, but it did not work that day on that talk show. How about that?
Either that or she killed some people and led the
Planet,
cops.
planet.
Yeah, yeah. So she can lead the cops to him.
God. Speaking of killing people, let's get into Slash Trax horror.
All right, we're doing it. We're almost done. Oh my God. Okay.
We're almost done. We've been having fun. Okay. I don't know how this movie like went under my radar. Okay. But Popeye the Slayer Man
Oh
has
yes.
officially bombed at the box office. Josh,
Well, yeah.
brought in $7,134 domestically and $12,960 worldwide on a 158 theatrical release. It's about a group of friends who explore an abandoned spinach factory searching for the local legend Popeye the Slayer Man.
They're
How
going.
did this
Yeah. I
go
knew
ahead?
about it. I knew about it. One town over used to be called the spinach capital of the world,
Okay.
where I live, because they had like a huge canning factory. There's even a statue of Popeye in town there. But no, the movie was only released to like less than 200 theaters. They're going to make their money on streaming and physical. They're going
Okay.
to, because people are going to buy the crap out of this movie. Um, it was never meant to be like a big theatrical release, anyways. But
Mhm.
they also didn't push it and stuff like the Winnie the Pooh movies were pushed, and
Mhm.
because the Winnie the Pooh people put out a Peter Pan one not too long ago that did really good too in its limited run. Um, but yeah, there's like 3 more Popeye movies coming out, and like at least a handful of Mickey Mouse ones on the way.
They're gonna have a Popeye the Slayer Man trilogy.
Well, no, it's different companies, different people making the movies. One of them's going to be more accurate to the comic strip and stuff, with like Wimpy and stuff in it. But I'll tell you what, for years, I've heard people bitching. Horror doesn't do anything original anymore. There's no new ideas. Da 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 da. We get original ideas, taking these public domain characters and turning them into horror movies. And people's like, I don't know why horror's doing this stupid idea. It's like, you've been bitching that they're not doing something original and new. I think people just like to bitch. I think it's a good idea. I think it's fun. It's something different. It's not the same old thing over and over again. So I applaud Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Popeye the Slayer Man, Steamboat Willie, all of them. And in about 3 or 4 more years, Batman's going to be public domain. That's going to be fun. There's already horror movies in the works about Batman. Right now, they've got the scripts. They're doing pre-production because the first version of Batman goes into public domain within a few years, and as soon as it does, there are movies ready to film. So
I hope I live long enough, which I won't, but I hope I do. I hope I live long enough for Pee Wee Herman's Pee Wee's Playhouse to reach public domain.
oh no, that could be fun. That would be terrifying.
I'm gonna kill you now.
Everybody in his playhouse, all the different living things are like victims of his.
He turned them into inanimate objects. He turned their bodies into furniture.
Yep.
I was gonna say, like, whenever he says that day's secret word, you're dead. You're dead. Okay, hey, this isn't something I wrote down, but it's something I just want to talk about real quick. Final Destination's Bloodlines has gotten like a 93% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, 2 reviews. It's crazy.
Stop. Like its highest rated entry in the franchise on Rotten Tomatoes, number 6. The 6th entry is the highest rated reviews.
Yeah, but I don't really count this as part 6. When there's a 14-year differential between sequels,
yeah,
it's like the first one all over again. I don't count that as a 5th sequel.
Well, I don't care what you count. It is what it is. Okay?
It is the 6th movie, but it's not the same as like Friday the 13th Jason Lives, because I mean, if we had New Beginning and then 15 years later we got Jason Lives, I guarantee there'd be a lot more quality in Jason Lives and then doing it a year after part 5. That's all I'm saying. Like,
they did have time to fix a lot of the problems from part 5 to 6. So you're
Yes.
right. You are right. Okay, you're right. Also, Jeffrey Reddick, I talk to you probably every other day on Twitter. Come and do the show. The movie's
Yes.
made. We're ready. Come to do Sidetrack. We're ready.
You
Okay.
told me you would do it like 4 years ago, man. Come
We're
on.
ready. We are ready. Okay. When you are ready and this movie debuts at #1 in the box office, we are ready for that big interview. Okay. We're ready. Josh, your boy, your friend, your favorite guy in the Scream franchise, David Arquette, he is back for Scream 7. But David Arquette was recently interviewed and he had a very, very interesting quote.
Okay.
He said Dewey's return for Scream 7 was supposed to be a secret. It was
It
never
was.
supposed to be leaked.
Yeah. Yep.
So what the hell happened?
Somebody leaked it.
God, why though? Why?
Because nobody likes surprises anymore. I still feel like this movie, I don't think they would have made such a big deal about Stu coming back, Dewey coming back, the brother coming back, if it was just going to be voices on a voice changer or flashbacks. I feel like something unique is happening with this sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's going to end up being a legacy sequel, you know, that skips 4, 5, and 6 or acts like they didn't exist, or it's going to be a Wes Craven's New Nightmare situation.
It's going to be something. I think you're right. I think it's going to be something where like the actual character is in the film. If it's the AI thing, I just hard pass. We'll wait for that on Tubi.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not gonna. Yeah, if it's that, I'm not going to see it.
yeah,
But, yeah.
we're good on that. Josh, let's go to Slash Trax Safe Sex. Very important segment we've had in the past. We got to do another one.
Let's do it.
All right.
Thank God that was not one of our Slash scouts doing their thing. We would have lost them. Cop and a Phil, man, that movie probably terrified teenagers for a bit, you know, of Cop and a Phil, you know, on the comatose girlfriend they got with him. Because there's no way she was alive. The blob couldn't get her that fast.
That's the worst STD of all time. Like the most fast acting. Forget It Follows. This is like It Happens like right now. Like he tried to grab a booby, man, and just immediately got hit by the lake monster from Creepshow.
I've got a bad case of the blob.
Yeah, I've got this like this it almost looks like used motor oil. It's all over my breasts.
It's my blob
Really
of the month.
bad.
Yep.
Yeah, we're having a bad day. We're having a bad day. So yeah, Slashketeers, Slashaholics, if you're thinking about engaging in any kind of sexual activity in the future, just remember, if you try to grab boobs, you will die.
A blob could get you. There could be a blob. You could get the blobbed. So
both of them, the left and the right. Josh, let's end the show with a couple headlines.
All right, let's do it.
All right, man. A NASA intern, Josh, stole a safe full of moon rocks, sprinkled them on a hotel bed, and made love to his girlfriend on top of them. It says the intern stole over 100 grams of moon rocks from the Johnson Space Center, and he was quoted. He said he wanted to give his girlfriend the moon. What's your thoughts?
You're fired. Like, that's just the corniest thing. All you had to do was tell your girlfriend, come to the hotel room, I'm going to give you the moon. When she walks in, bend over, pull your pants down. There you go. You gave her the moon.
Or he could have a moon themed condom on, or
the moon. Oh, wear Mac at Night mask for McDonald's Mac at Night. You know, the moon face guy. Like, dress up like him for your sex. Because I'm sure she might have been impressed but that could not have been comfortable. Okay, you can give me the moon. I'm on top. I'm not laying on these moon rocks.
Oh, speaking of Mac tonight, I can't wait till that's public domain. That'll be a hell of a horror movie.
It already is. It scared me as a kid.
That was like one of the big /Gateers/Holics. Go out of your way to look up Mac at Night on YouTube. Some of the most biggest failure probably of McDonald's marketing. Hey, up there with the Arch Deluxe and the McPizza.
Up until about 7-8 years ago, there was a McDonald's a couple towns over that I would go to that still had Mac at Night, like a statue at a piano. And
really?
Just one day it was gone when McDonald's like redesigned all their stores to look like sad, pathetic, depressed boxes. He was gone.
Places you get your taxes done instead of ordering a value meal.
Yeah, Taco Bell, everything used to look so cool. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a renaissance of 80s looking stuff in the future. But anyways, yeah, they had a Mac at Night statue at a piano. I wish I had taken pictures, but anyways, I digress. What's our next headline?
Well, I just want to say one real quick thing before our next headline. It sounded more like he wanted to give it to her on the moon as opposed to give her the moon.
Right? Did she get to take any moon rocks home with her? I don't think so.
I don't know, man. And that's, he probably definitely got fired for that, right?
Probably had to pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, $100,000. What is the going rate on the street? What's the street value of a gram of moon rocks? How much is that? Final headline, final story of the episode.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man. One of the screen used bikes from the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure recently sold at auction for $100,000, Josh.
Before or after his death?
It recently sold. It was after his death.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that played a big part in it. It probably would have got some big money regardless, but that probably added to it. I'm jealous. We're gonna have to go on a big adventure to get the bike. Let's go.
Well, I know who bought this. I knew who bought this before I even saw the story.
The guy?
Yeah, it was Francis. Francis bought this bike.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
No, not that. No, but I'm sure if they released the records, we'd find out that Francis's father bought this bike.
Or whoever bought it has reported it missing, and the last person they saw at their house was Francis.
Francis is inside having his bath. Oh, really? Where are they hosing him down? Apologize to Francis at this minute. At once, Pee-wee. I'm sorry, and I'll never do it again. Josh, that's the end of the episode, man.
You want to tell people to shoot us an email?
Yeah, /Trax2020@gmail.com. Go ahead and write us if you have any suggestions for future /Trax Saturday mornings episodes you want us to review and watch, future movies that we're going to review and watch, any movie you can possibly think of, because the new channel, we do everything on it. Not just horror, not just pop, everything. Nothing is safe in pop culture from us. Any movies you want us to riff and review in the future on /Trax Season 4, anything. You have questions for us? You want to tell us about your day? /Trax2020@gmail.com.
There it is. And you've seen it on the screen the whole time. If you want to help the channel out, you can join our Patreon. Soon we'll have channel memberships here. You can also do a one-time donation through Cash App or PayPal. Information is in the pinned comment and description below. Thanks for hanging with us. Be excellent to each other. And remember, it's crazy out there. And the trick is to stay sane inside insanity. Say goodnight, Alex.
Good night, Alex. Mahalo, dogs.
All right. He's fat!
Yep.
Josh and Alex got the groove. Fun facts making the headlines move. fuel for the fight. Pro wrestling on the screen. Spin the facts like a dream. Headlines rocking day and night. Slash Trax team out of sight. Jumpin' Jeff says, yep, alright. Tony laughs with pure delight. Slash Trax action, news and gear. Every story Chris